Hey friends, welcome to Anton Reacts, and today's episode is brought to you by Kelly, who has requested that we check out the song So Beautiful by Darren Hayes of Savage Garden. And for anyone who doesn't know who Darren Hayes is, he was the lead vocalist of Savage Garden, which is one of my favorite bands we've ever done on the channel. I'm a huge Savage Garden fan, and we've actually done both of their full album reactions, so if you want to check those out, link down below in the description to check out all of those and go on the journey with everybody. Also, before we get into this one, make sure you guys stay to the end of the video because I'm going to be revealing how you can win a free song quest and get exclusive bonus content, and that's it. Let's get into Darren Hayes of Savage Garden, So Beautiful.
Whether I'm right or wrong, there's no phrase that hits like an ocean needs the sand, or a dirty old shoe that fits. And if all the world was perfect, I would only ever want to see your scars. You know they can have their universe. We'll be in the dirt designing stars. And darling, you know you make me feel so beautiful. Nowhere else in the world I wanna be. You make me feel so beautiful.
Wow, his solo stuff is just as good as Savage Garden.
There's no crowd to please. I'm like a faith without a clause to believe in it. And if all the world was smiling, I would only ever want to see your frown. You know they can sail away in sunsets. We'll be right here stranded on the ground, just happy to be found. You make me feel
I love this.
so beautiful. Nowhere else in the world I wanna be. You make me feel so beautiful.
Bridge time?
I have lost my illusions, I have drowned in your words. I have left my confusion to a cynical world. I am throwing myself at things I don't understand. Discover enlightenment, holding your hand. You are so beautiful.
Crescendo. Wow, dude. Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this was Darren Hayes, So Beautiful. That was an absolutely fantastic song. Wow. Yeah, like I feel like I'm a broken record, but just like I just keep saying it. Like Darren Hayes is a special human being, not just a very special artist, but it's beyond that. There's a few things I want to say about this, and to remind myself. The first is just the songwriting, I thought that, because Daniel Jones is a phenomenal songwriter. He's an amazing guitarist, an amazing keyboardist. His song structures, his versatility, his just progressive nature. I thought that when Darren went solo, the stuff would get boring, and it didn't. The second thing we're going to talk about is this idea of the video. And the video kind of was a perfect video for this song for a couple of reasons. Just like, I love this idea of like the way that Darren looks at the world is he's not like lost in fantasy land. It's this idea of like magical realism. Like a lot of my favorite books, like Harry Potter, they bring fantastical elements into the real world. And it's like it's that kind of emergence of fantasy, escapism, and reality. And, also what I love about this video is Darren's vibe is like, again, he's not someone who's, sometimes a song like, So Beautiful, it can feel disassociated with reality. Like if I listen to it and go, oh, like this doesn't feel grounded. This feels fake. This feels forced. This feels like you want to create this world that doesn't exist. And what I love about this is this video it plays the line between reality and, in some sense, like, again, it's just kind of really simple. It's just Darren walking down a street with this kind of coy smile on his face. Like, he's not blissed out. He's not high. He's not just dislocated from everybody. He's still in reality, but there's just that smirk on his face, that like, that subtle look of like, I'm living in reality, but I'm also seeing the beautiful parts of it too. I think that really resonates with me. Like, I really want to meet Darren Hayes one day. I just kind of want to be around him because I just feel like, again, it's like he's one of those people that we're sharing the same reality, but Darren's looking at it just a little bit differently. Not too much, not so differently that you can't associate with him, you can't relate to him. He's just kind of vibed out. But, I feel like, I could just kind of hang out with him. And again, I think like when you go through all the stuff that he's been through, the ups and the downs and hitting your rock bottom, I think this is kind of the transition of, yeah, you're not in a different reality. You're in the same reality, but you're just looking at it a bit differently. I even see this idea of like one thing, and what I didn't understand about the video is I thought the video was going to be he was the only one who was like walking on air. I thought everyone else, I thought what the metaphor was is I'm sharing this reality with you, but I'm just a bit separated. Things are a bit different from me than the average person. But what was interesting is that the director chose to have everybody sharing this illusion, everyone sharing this kind of reality with Darren, which I didn't really understand because I thought the whole point was he's walking through life and he's this outsider who's observing the beauty in the world. He's finding the beauty in the world. It's not being handed to him, but just seeing a couple kissing, seeing someone smiling at their lover, seeing a mother and a father or a mother and a son just kind of enjoying the small things, seeing, a child and a dog play in a park. Like I thought it was going to be about Darren hitting his rock bottom, realizing that the pain in which he was holding on to is too difficult to hold on to. And now he is just effortlessly looking at the little silver linings of life, not aggressively like, oh, I need to look at the bright side, but just, he's like, man, I've been through a lot. I'm kind of ready to be happy. You know what I mean? And I just love this. And as I alluded to, going back to the music of this song, I love how the songwriting is still Savage Garden. We have proper bridges. We have proper outros. We have proper crescendos. We have background vocals. We have a little, like ad libs. And Darren, again, I thought that when Darren left Savage Garden, the songwriting was going to get really poppy and choppy and just like no no flow to it. I thought it was going to be verse, chorus, simple bridge, done. And obviously, this is a 3.5-minute song. It's not as progressive as Gunning Down Romance or some of the other Savage Garden songs, To the Moon and Back, but I like how it still flows really nicely. You know what I mean? I love the bridges of Savage Garden. Same with Darkness by Darren Hayes. Incredible songwriting. If someone said, oh, is this a Savage Garden song or a Darren Hayes solo song? I'd be like, oh yeah, Savage Garden. I can kind of feel like Darren's progressive elements in Darkness, but it's not. It's solo. So I love that, you know, even when Darren is doing this stuff, he's relaxing a bit. Or not relaxing, but he's wanting to make amazing music. And I think, yeah, I still have a bit of this expectation for whatever reason that when artists go solo, they get boring. They make their music poppier and simpler, and they simplify things. And I like how so far it's seeming Darren has not been doing that. But yeah, let's jump into the meaning behind this one now. All right, we're back with Darren Hayes, So Beautiful. So, whether I'm right or wrong, there's no phrase that hits, like an ocean needs the sand, or a dirty old shoe that fits. Whether I'm right or wrong, there's no phrase that hits, like an ocean needs the sand, or a dirty old shoe that fits. And if all the world was perfect, I would only ever want to see your scars. You know that they can have their universe, but we'll be in the dirt designing stars. I really like that. He's talking about loving somebody unconditionally. He's talking about accepting life and accepting himself unconditionally. Like, you know, again, I think there's this idea in life sometimes that, like, you know, you're trying to achieve perfection. You're trying to achieve the best version of yourself. And some people, including myself, have fallen into this where we ride ourselves so hard in this pursuit of perfection, because only when we're perfect, then we can be happy. Then people can love us. Then we can be successful. And I like how he's saying, he's like, you know, I don't need to be perfect. You know, I think scars are beautiful. I think the humanness in you is beautiful. I don't like auto-tune. I want to hear your imperfections. I want to hear your emotion in your voice. Because when we perfect the voice, you take out the humanity in the voice. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what I get from him. He's just like, hey, it's okay. You don't, like, I'll love you for your imperfections and your beauty and your grace. I love you because I love you. There's no reason I love you. And again, that's such a Darren thing, you know, the poet in Darren. His lyrics are like some of my absolute favorites. As I always say, Darren Hayes is probably like my top 5 favorite lyricist of all time. His poetry is so deep, so meaningful, yet so simple to understand. I know this one kind of went over my head for the first 2, but then I kind of got it. And at the same time, that's beautiful too. You know, some of his stuff's easier to understand. Others are a bit more like, okay, let's vibe into this. But I love Darren's heart and the philosophical nature in how he views the world. And darling, you know, you make me feel so beautiful. Nowhere else in the world I want to be. You make me feel so beautiful. Whether I'm up or down, there's no crowd to please. This is exactly what I was talking about before. I'm like a faith without a clause to believe in it. And if all the world was smiling, I would only ever want to see your frown. You know, they can sail away in sunsets. We'll be right here stranded on the ground. Yeah, he's talking about just enjoying life as it is. Just happy to be found. Just happy to be found by someone who loves me as I am. Okay, I think I'm feeling where this song is coming from. A lot of relationships, especially that I and Darren have been in, is, as I always call it, trauma bonding, addictive relationships. You always thinking about each other. You're addicted. You feel anxiety. You can't eat at the thought of them cheating on you. Or when you're not together, you're thinking about them all the time. You're afraid. Why aren't they texting me? And so it's really beautiful when you do find somebody that it's like, it doesn't feel so addictive. It feels a bit calmer. You know, you feel seen, you feel valued. Like in these addictive relationships, you never feel valued, you never feel seen. And that's why you're so terrified of losing the person, because you feel like you're on shaky ground, you're in thin ice, and at any moment they're gonna leave or cheat on you or find someone better than you. And again, you only get a relationship like this when you love yourself enough. Don't have to love yourself all the way, you know, but just enough. You finally you finally kind of love yourself. You know, you realize, okay, there's something in me that can be loved. And you find someone who loves that part of you that you think can be loved. It's just simple. You know, I'm just happy to be found, you know? I've lost my illusions. I've drowned in your words. I've left my confusion to a cynical world. I'm throwing myself at things I don't understand, discovering enlightenment holding your hand. I love that. I'm throwing myself at things I don't understand. That's what I'm trying to do. Not even trying to do. Screw that. That's what I'm doing right now in my life. You know, again, as a lot of you have been checking out the podcast, like, I'm meeting a lot of really cool people, and I'm feeling a sense of hope and joy that I haven't had in a long time. I'm just like, oh man, life is kind of beautiful, isn't it? Like, I'm finally feeling that. You're so beautiful. Yeah, darling, you know that you make me feel so beautiful. Nowhere else in the world I want to be. Aw. Well, my friends, this was Darren Hayes, So Beautiful. Overall, love this one. Just, yeah, this was just very beautiful, very calming in a sense. Yeah, I found this one very calming. Yeah, the vibe was perfect. The vibe actually suits, the vibe and the vocal performance suits the lyrics so well, because the whole song is just about loving the simplicity of life. And the song is this beautiful simplicity, not too angsty. It's just, again, the vibe is just beyond perfect. Yeah, I love this one. And so thank you, Kelly, for sharing this with all of us. And if you are new to Darren Hayes and Savage Garden, what do you think of this one? Let me know down below. And if you love Darren, you love Savage Garden, where does this rank up with the entire discography? Let me know down below. And now for the big reveal. So if you want to win a free song quest, like this video, share this video with one person you feel will enjoy it, comment who you shared it with, and leave your request in the comment. And remember that submissions need a minimum of 10 million views. And this is not the case with Patreon requests. So if you're interested in guaranteed song quests, full album reactions, like we've done to all of the Savage Garden records, and much more, join everyone in our Patreon family, link in the description of this video. And while you're there, definitely join our Discord community where you can hang out with myself, the entire community, and take part in all of our community events. So I'd love to see you there. And that's pretty much it. So thank you all for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it. And if you resonate with this video and anything I talked about, and you want to help support me and the show, be sure to like this video, as I said, subscribe, and share it with a friend to win that free song quest. And that's it. So I'll see all of you in the next episode. I love you. Bye.